this is my battleship midterm project game. So I first start with include pound directives here and so on. And then my next thing I do is I define a ship class and to create my ships and also attributes here and there along with my getters and setters, my functions. I also create a vector here to make the coordinates for my ship, and also I can determine if my ship's HP or health hit points decreases or not. And then for the next thing, my class board is I set up, I create my board and such. Here, I load my load board is where I actually start assigning my board here with O's here, and then I use a vector to make a grid here. I then place a ship to set where the ships are going to be given on my board, and then I receive attack, and here I decrease or receive attack I keys, I see, and I determine if it's hit or not, and then I show X. I use it for the grid M or not. M means miss, by the way, and so yeah, miss means as mark means M means miss, and so a display board is where I use 2 for loops in order to display the board here with S and then S and O. I then I use a vector to display the grid. Afterwards, I use the set grid to set ships. I also use all ships sunk to determine if all ships are sunk or not. I use the game class to actually create the ships here, or create the game to define and use to play the game. Basically, I use it for player 1, player 2 boards, and I use it for the current players to determine and to show which player can play currently. I use a vector here to create ships, and here I use carrier, battleship, cruiser, submarine, and destroyers, and I assign them all accordingly to what the rule was or whatever I given. I then use save board to save the files, and here for the grids. Afterwards, I display or show the ship's HP or hit points basically. Afterwards, I use load board to assign it. I use it to read the load the files. I use 2 for loops here. Afterwards, I use load board. I use the set grid here. I use it also. I also save ships in the file. Afterwards, I then use it to a block of code that will save the ships here according with the name and size and HP of it. And afterwards, I adjust hit points here. Also, I use it here to use a take hit function, and that if I use a take hit function, the ship's hit points will decrease by 1. And then here I use this ifdef Win32 to use as a directive here, and for system CLS, and for this clear screen here, and for the clear. In the show game menu, I used game menu as a way to display the main menu here, and also prompt the user for choice, and that's where I use while the choice to whether or not for input validation. I use switch player, so the game can switch between players 1 and 2. Afterwards, I use the reset game here for player 1, player 2 boards. Afterwards, it starts the game in the start game function. Then after here, I use this to set up the ships here, where this is where it goes, and afterwards, this is where I prompt the ships whether what the players want to set it up and where. And afterwards, I then prompt the starting coordinates here, and that's where H is here. Where I want to set the orientation of whether they want horizontal or vertical. And I use it for valid placement. If it's invalid, I tell them invalid placement, try again. And that's where I clear screen. That's when I start playing the game and use that playing game function. And that's where I use game over false. And I declare the pointer's attack board or own board. Afterwards, I use it for the clear screen to show which player's turn is it. And then display the game menu here, the switch block here, and I then prompt the player to attack where they want to attack, X and Y, and I also input X and Y. I also call receive attack at the given coordinate, and if it's invalid, I say try again. Else, if I put any else here where their get grid is X or not, that means it's hit or miss. For else, there's miss here too. On the attack board, I use all ships sunk to determine if all the ships are sunk or not. In the player, I use this block of code to determine which current player 1 or 2 turns. Oh wait, no, I use player 1 and 2, and I will tell if the current player wins. I then switch players in the switch player function to determine whether or not whose turn is it, and it goes on. But I then save it. I then save the game here. I can choose it. I have the user to enter the file name to save here, and then I use the save game here for the stream file here, and I see if the file can open not properly. I use for an error message. But then I save the current player 1's board, player 2 board. I then close the file, and here reset the game then. I load the current players. I load player 1's board, player 2's board. I just load them and then close the file. And then I use the main method from battleship. I declare the objects. I start inputting the main menu here of choice, and then call reset and start the game here. I choose I have them input which file name they want accordingly, and then it starts to load, and then it is done.